extra special GOhioCast podcast with the newly crowned national champions, Faith Christian Academy. I want to call them Eagles, even though they're Lions, right?
I told you before we could go Eagles, man. Big Eagle fans over here.
I'll tell you what, I think we can do whatever we want to for you because you guys ran the gauntlet. You won the Iron Man. You won uh Beast of the East. You won Coal Cracker. You won PA State Duels double A. You won Pennsylvania State Tournament double A. I missed a couple. What did I miss?
Escape the Rock was
Oh,
a big one.
just escaped the rocket.
That was a big one. Lake Highland Prep. They were at I guess they were at Iron Man Beast and ETR. They were nipping at our heels too. Yeah, man. You got the rest of them though.
I got the right. Okay, so I nailed it. And then your read. Okay, what is the progression through the state series in PA? Regionals, district, or district regional state? Which one is it?
District, regional, state.
Okay, and you won the district, you won the regional, you won the state, and it's the same three levels for the duels and for the individual, correct?
For duels, it's just district duels.
Okay.
And then if you win your district, I guess it's different for some of the other districts, but for our purposes, we have to win District 1 Double A, which we did by beating Bristol, and then we become the representative for District 1 to the state. Duels, right from districts to states, individual, there's the three-leg district, regional, then state.
So it's a three-step qualification for the state series for the individual, a two-step
Correct.
series for the duel. You
Yep.
beat McCourt for the state duel double A championships.
Yeah.
Uh, how many times did you run up against the big school division champions?
Bethlehem Catholic.
Yeah, yeah, Becca.
Yeah, Becca, they were at um man, I really got to think about it. They were at
Iron
Iron
Man.
Man.
We know they're at Iron Man.
They were at man, I'm such a dummy when it comes to stuff. I
Was
think they
that
were at
Beast?
Beast. I think they were at Beast, and I think they were at ETR.
Okay.
Like
So you
I'm like positive they were ETR.
never hit him in a duel though.
Did not wrestle them in a duel. We got something sort of off the record, but in the works to try to wrestle them at Grace Hall at Lehigh's
Snake Pit.
Snake Pit, baby. You know it.
Love it, dude. Great arena. That'll be awesome. As good of a setting as there is for a high school and or college duel, wrestling duel, period, right? Bring Russia in. I don't care. Bring the
Yeah.
Iranians in. Bring somebody in, right?
Let's do
Um,
it.
awesome environment.
Yeah. Yeah, they're and they both Lehigh's got a couple Faith guys coming their way, a couple Becca guys coming their way, and so that could be set up for yeah, a really cool stage on a couple different fronts. So we'll see though. Like I said, we're still sort of coming off of the weekend and prepping the banquet. As you know, there's a lot of people to sort of like pause and just show gratitude towards, and we want to make sure we do those things. Um, but yeah, a lot of whispers already about what next year could hold.
So you guys, is there 13 weights in Pennsylvania?
Correct.
So 13 weights in Pennsylvania. Did you break the state record for state finalists in double A?
I don't know if we broke the finalist. I feel like somebody did tell me that, but we definitely broke the like point record.
Okay, so you broke the point record.
Yeah,
And then how many? Six finalists?
we had six finalists. Last year
I believe that's
we
the
had
record because Josh Lowe was with me. Do
yeah,
you know Josh Lowe?
Josh loves my boy. I was so
Josh
excited to get
Lowe,
his email this week saying lock it in, baby. These are the final results.
correct. So him and I were at the state tournament. We did a lowdown every night. Um, State tournament's brutal, dude. Ohio State tournament's brutal. It's brutal. Everybody thinks it's great. It is not great.
Why is it brutal?
Three divisions, 10 mats. You guys got to figure it out in PA. You clear the arena, you do double A, triple A, they're separate tournaments.
Yeah,
Ohio's got four tournaments going on at once, dude.
dude.
The girls, then three divisions. Um, Everybody thinks it's great. It's not great. Um, the floor people and the arena people are horrendous. Horrendous, dude. Horrendous, man. Like I can't even like they're literally unhelpful for the sake of being unhelpful because they just can be. It's
Yeah.
almost like a yeah, we're here. What are you gonna do about it type deal. And then everybody's super fixated on it being at Ohio State. They think it's great. It's not. Um but the dude, it's Jim Anderson, the head coach for Kent State's like Ohio State tournament, worst tournament to recruit. Dude, you can't like you got Marcus Blaze over here, and then you got freaking Carson Brown, right? You got these guys that you don't know who's on the mat. They're at separate ends. The dude does make an announcement usually when it's a returning state champ or a former state champ, but a lot of the announcements are like the dude's already mangling the guy, or you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, um, your guys don't get any. What is the PA bracket? Is it 32 in the double and triple A?
20,
Is it
24.
okay? 24?
20, 20 or 24.
20 or 24. Okay. Ohio's got three 16-man brackets, and then the girls is a 16 woman bracket, girl bracket. Um,
I
and
like that it's like we have one of the things that I wish they would change is that yeah, either make it a 16 or a 32 man bracket. Like I think
yeah,
it would be fine to just make it a 16.
yeah.
But that does throw a little bit of a hitch into it. You know what I mean? When some guys are getting a prelim match before the first round and other guys aren't and just skews it a little bit. Not that it was real problematic, but I wish they would make it nice and clean on that front. But one of the things you're talking about, like the rounds and the chaos, so last year was the first year that girls were included, and one of the change ups was instead of it being just separate tournaments like double A and triple A always were, double A's in, double A's out, triple A's in, triple A's out. What they did to accommodate the girls last year was they ran separate tournaments Thursday morning up until Friday night. And then Friday night, they got six mats in there. And so they had Friday night semifinals, girls on two mats, double A on two mats, triple A on two mats, and they keep that formatting through Saturday. So the tournaments are actually run together down the home stretch, but it's very manageable for everybody to take in, not quite like you're explaining with Ohio. And what it does is because everybody is there, dude, the parking lot is packed, the lines are wrapped around the building, and just as competitors and coaches down on the floor, pretty cool to feel the energy from all those different groups of people and to see the arena all packed out. It was you know of all the things to complain about year in year out, I thought they did a really good job organizing that, so it was cool.
I almost feel like our venue is too big. They're trying to run four tournaments at once.
Yeah.
They changed the format up a little bit this year where they kept it like Division three, Division two, Division three. So Division three championship, Division two championship, Division three consolation, Division two consolation. And then it wasn't as much, but then the semifinals ended up being eight semis on eight mats. It's dude, it's brutal. It's chaos. And then what's awesome is
Uh,
people are like, well, why doesn't he interview this guy? Or why don't he interview that guy? Why'd you avoid my kid? I'm like, there's there's four state finals going on at the same time. There's eight semifinals. What do you want me to do? Like,
Look at me over
it's
here just
crazy, dude. I miss a lot of it. I don't even see things. Dude, a kid came up to me and he was so stoked. He's like, dude, I hit the like a Shallow's Cradle Spladle from top. And he's like, I hit it. You're here. And I was like, there's so much other and the kid was stoked because I caught him earlier in the year doing it. And it was cool, right? And it's an Instagram thing, and it's brutal, man. And they think it's great. They think it's great. Everyone thinks it's great. I'm like, this is terrible. And then I'm like, Pennsylvania literally clears it out
Yeah. Yep.
division to division. So we have four state finals going on at once. So I want you to think about that.
It's too
If
much.
you're me, right? Hold on. It's not about me. I get that, right? Me aside, right? That's great. But I'm selfish and I want to be able to cover every match.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm trying to film three boys finals. I only got to really look at, we film all the finals because I have people that help,
Yeah.
but I shoot highlights. Well, dude, how does that work when I'm trying to, it's crazy, dude. It's great.
So
It's
when
crazy.
you when you get your downtime, because this is like a popular conversation, especially this time of year, when you get your downtime where you take 3, 4 weeks off and just do nothing. I know you got that built into your schedule at some point coming up, don't you?
It's baseball. I mean, it's baseball every night. Yeah.
I'm just kidding.
Sure.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like how would you organize that state tournament so that you're getting people into the seats? You know what I mean? Like there's a lot of buzz in whatever arena you're gonna put it in, but how do you create that across three divisions and now girls wrestling too? Um, how do you create that picture that you want to see where it's like it's not long and drawn out. It's not like you're going one final at a time across four divisions. Like, oh my goodness, that's ridiculous too. How do you do it?
You
It's
split it.
tough.
You split it into 1-2 or 1-3, girls two, and boys division two, girls wrestling, or boys division one, girl, and then you rotate it year in, year out, right? Like,
Yeah,
division one's with girls finals this year. I don't I like that you guys and Jersey
yeah,
and California do one state final.
yeah.
You do one state final. Dude, then they have all the awards at the end.
It's awesome.
They go through 28. What's 28 plus times two? Hold on, that's
56.
60,
Well,
62. No,
50,
66.
and then double that up. You're looking at 112 there.
No, 56.
Yeah.
56. They do 56 awards on a Sunday night. And they changed it from Thursday, Friday, Saturday to Friday, Saturday, Sunday. These people think it's great. It's horrendous, dude. Oh
And then
God.
and then everybody going back to work all Monday, man. It's
No, of
that's
course
what I'm
nobody does.
experiencing.
I had to, but no, nobody else does. And I was sick all weekend. I told you I couldn't even do the thing till tonight
Yeah.
with my voice. And it's just dude, it's a horrible setup. They have a smaller arena where all like two of my brothers won state. Called
Nice.
St. John's Arena.
Okay.
That would be a split, the two divisions, like I said, run the two divisions separate and do it like that. Then I think you could have four finals on Saturday because you got to move it back to Thursday, Friday, Saturday.
You
It's
have to.
only on a Friday, Saturday, Sunday because they wanted to be at Ohio State so bad.
Yeah.
Dude, it's crazy. Bring it up to Cleveland, put it in the Rocket Mortgage where the 2018 greatest NCAA tournament ever was.
So do you have I would imagine somebody like yourself has a little bit of pull. Like, do you have pull in that?
I don't care. I'm done. I just don't care. I
Say
don't
your
care.
piece and
They can
move
have
on.
the old people running the floor. I don't care. Do
Yeah.
what you want. It doesn't matter to me. I'm
Yeah.
moved on. I'm good. I'll come cover after next year. I'd rather come watch the Pennsylvania State tournament. I don't even, I think on that. I'm like, hey, I'm good. You guys want it how you want it. It's good. I don't need to be here anymore. They don't need me. I'm good. I'd rather come to
Marcus,
PA and
Marcus
watch PA.
plays, move on. I'm all good.
Yeah, I'm all set. You guys are good. You got this figured out. Um,
We'll
it's
have you.
yeah. So yeah, like after that, because I have a nephew that wrestles one year, and um, I like to watch. I like to support my family. I got a nephew wrestling in the NCAA D2s this weekend.
Nice.
Um, I will say this. Here's what I'll tell you. As much as the COVID year 2021, when we had a state tournament and a high school gym was like, the bummer of not the big arena. I could follow it.
Yeah.
I was able to watch every match. I was able to not miss a thing. It was on formats. as much as the big arena experience was taken from the kids, me selfishly, I'd rather do that. I'd
Yeah.
rather break it up to 4 locations and have to pick one to cover. If I'm being honest with you, dude, it's so bad.
Yeah.
It is so hard to follow. It is, yeah, and we've
And
got
then you have situations like you explained, like kids know you and they love that spotlight that you get to put on them. And when you feel like you're deficient in that and you got kids coming up to you and you missed it or you didn't get to cover it, like that's a big reason you do what you do.
yes, but once
And
again, it's
wow.
not about me. I'm
Yeah,
good. I understand that. I'm good. If I don't need to, I could just be a dad the rest of my life and teach high
sure.
school. I'm cool with that. I'm all right with that. Yeah, I'm okay, right? But like, what they do to like it just and everybody thinks it's great. And I'm like, no, PA does it right. Jersey does it right. California does it right. We don't do it right. You guys think we do it right because they've always pretty much done it this way. This ain't right. This ain't it. And
Yeah.
dude, you want to know the greatest tournament, hands down, the freaking NCAA Division One championships. That ain't
Woo.
close, bro. The Olympics, the World Championships, the World Cup, um, even the continental stuff I've been to, like Pan Am's. Dude, no, there's no comparison.
No
There's
comparison. Are
none,
you, are you
none.
making a trip
The
to
Olympic
Philly?
Games does not hold a candle. Are there better wrestlers? Yes, we get that, right? Like Bavai Saitiev won 3 Olympic titles, wrestled in 4. Is he as good of a wrestler that's ever stepped on a mat on the planet? Yes, right. He never wrestled in an NCAA tournament, so we get that, right? Um, we get Jordan Burroughs, we get Dan Gable, we understand Ivan Urigan, we understand that some of those guys that wrestled at the NCAA, some didn't, right? The NCAA tournament fan experience,
Yeah.
top to bottom, the NCAA tournament crushes every product in wrestling.
Are you coming to Philly next weekend?
We got a snag. We got a snag. I got some things in the works. I can't speak on that right now.
Okay, fair enough.
It was a
Fair
green
enough.
light and then it got redded. They got red. Now we're back at a yellow.
Okay.
That's all I can tell you.
Should you find your way down there, yours truly will be there.
I'm
Me and
hitting
my
you
buddy,
up. I'm gonna hit
me
you
and
up.
we'll be down there hanging out. We're looking forward to it.
I know you guys will be very well behaved.
Yeah, we will.
You'll be
And
very
I
well
can't
behaved.
wait. I can't wait to be a spectator. There's been way too many months of the coaching decisions, the bumping lineups, the prepping guys, skin checks and weigh-ins and travel itineraries and everything else. Like for once, I just have to get myself there and hang out and watch, man. It's gonna be awesome.
Yeah, but you love that other stuff.
No doubt. No doubt.
I love all the matches going on. I just don't like that I can't watch
Yeah.
and give everything the attention that
Yeah.
it deserves. I love the high level wrestling. I hate that I can't concentrate on not 4 things or not 8 things, right? Dude, they'll tell you stuff. Did you see so and so got pinned? Or, oh, did you see that? I'm like, no, I didn't see anything. I didn't see anything.
Yeah.
I didn't, no, I know I didn't see that because I can't follow it.
Yeah. When we
Well,
when we're at like the state tournament, that's that's where like we get done the tournament and we got to go get meals for guys. Some guys need to do a weight cut, get them to the gym or just do the workout with them, and like all this stuff gets to be about 9, 10, 11, whatever o'clock. One of my favorite things to do is just like sit down in the hotel bed. I don't have my 4 little kids tugging at me to put them down for bed, and I just get to like go back through and see those matches that I missed all throughout the day because there's a big upset and this guy beat that guy and you should have seen like I don't get to see any of it. And so that's one thing I always look forward to doing. Just nice mellowed out, 11 o'clock, kind of take in some of that action, little game prep for what our guys have the next day, an hour or two of calm before shutting the lights out. But it's tough, man. It's tough to be in that element and catch it all. That's for sure.
But being a media guy is nothing compared to being a coach because you're not worried about what's going on in the arena. You're worried about what's going on with these 13 guys.
Right.
Or how many did
Yeah.
you qualify all 13?
We did not. We qualified 10. We qualified 10. We qualified for 12 for regionals. We had 12 district champs. Our 107 pounder has been cutting weight like a dog all year long. 6 feet tall, Jab. Like, you know,
Yeah.
he's Zeb. I don't know what you Jab. Zeb.
I don't care. I don't care. No
It's late.
disrespect intended. I got you.
We're both putting kids down to bed, right? Um,
Same.
so he made a decision not to get on the scale the morning of districts. He'd been grinding all week, up
Yeah.
late, up at like 3 in the morning, trying to get it off, and he got to like 2 pounds and was looking at me like, "Yo, coach, ain't happening." And I was like, "Dude, go eat. Life is good, man. You've gotten to log a lot of good experience your freshman year here. You don't got to do this to yourself." It's like it's borderline like unhealthy to say the least. He was really struggling. So anyway, Shane Young, he's a stud. He's going to continue to be a stud. He didn't make it to regionals, but our other 12 guys, all one districts made it to regionals. Lincoln Botero and Henry Racich didn't qualify for states, but we qualified 10. All 10 made the semifinals.
That's got to be a record.
It has to be a record, dude.
Has
It
to
was
be a record.
wild. Awesome. It was awesome.
Hey, Ed St. Ed's qualified 13 of 14. All 13 made the semis. Record,
Woo,
100%. Huge record. Like a crushing, shattering record.
some
So
bad dudes, man.
they got a team. I mean, you've seen, you saw
Yeah,
Carson Brown, which he beat one of the Bachmans, didn't he?
he did indeed. He beat him at ETR.
Yeah,
Yeah, was that ETR, right?
yeah, ETR, Escape the Rock, yeah. So
Uh,
they got guys, you've seen them, you saw them at Ironman, you saw them at ETR. They got a team, but 13 semifinalists for them, 10 for you.
yeah,
And of course you win the tournament. When you win the state championships, it's with finalists.
yeah. Largely a part like the way the scoring is set up. That
Yeah.
is definitely hones in on that, and so yeah, to have six was a huge deal. And honestly, we could have had six champs. Like Gage lost a heartbreaker to Dom Deputy, who's a great kid, big fan of Dom's.
Deputy
From
Chestnut Ridge.
Yeah, yeah. Going to NC
Good.
State.
Yeah,
He's
he
just
can
a
wrestle.
kid. He's got another year. And then Mark got reversed with like no time left on the clock.
Big Mark?
Big Mark, dude.
Is
He
Mark
and
going to
like
Princeton?
Mark's going to Princeton. He's a
Mark's a stud.
junior. He's
I
got
like
another
Mark.
year. Mark's a man, and he made so much progress this year as a young man. And also like in his wrestling, conditioning, flow. That was a kid who was winning a lot of overtime matches last year, like whether it's against a good kid or a bad kid, like you know, all he knows how to do is hold position, escape, ride you out, like just way too many tight matches. And this year he like led the team, maybe 24, 26 pins. I can't remember what he had, but like um second or third in the team and takedowns, like just doing some really awesome things. And he deserved to be a state champ, but gave up a reversal. You know, Gage's like a mousetrap situation that he gets himself into. Kind of
Yeah.
familiar with this
Yeah.
headlock. So the kid was on bottom, marks up one, um, and like 20 seconds left. They restart, call stalemate out of nowhere, restart the position. Kid baby crawls forward, hits a little bit of a sit out, and Mark ends up in that mousetrap situation. And as the kid went to roll through, Mark like stacked him up. I thought he was going to deck him, but the kid's a real athletic build, and he like got through the zone, came out on top, no time, reversal, no back points,
Yeah.
heartbreak. So we could have had six champs, but grateful to have six finalists. Pumped up for the four that won it, and still had three more take third, and another one take fifth. So it was an awesome show.
I got to say this right now. I'm
Yeah,
looking through the results. I'm looking through finalists. I'm looking through just like kind of just scanning, figuring out who you guys had, what
yeah.
your matchups were with McCourt. Bishop McDevitt has to go to the Ironman next year. They're really good, dude. Missing McDevitt is really good.
so good, and they've
Oh
got
my
talent coming
God.
back, and like what did we beat them by? Like 10 points at the duels.
Yeah,
Nobody
it was like
back.
super tight.
Dude, it has to be like Faith versus McCourt. And I tell people all the time, like, I mean, last year McDevitt was the closer match in the duel. And this year it was, we beat one by 10, one by 9. Like,
So
uh,
good, dude. They're
they're
so good.
tough.
I don't know. Listen,
They're
nobody
tough.
outside of Pennsylvania knows anything about them. You could take Stillwater to them. You could take St. Ed's to them. You could take,
Dude, they're
name it. You
tough.
could take Gilroy, California, frickin' Clovis, Detroit Catholic Central, Del Barton, and they would be like, "Who the hell are these guys?" People wouldn't
And
know
they're,
what was hitting them. Do you realize that?
yeah. Nauman,
No.
Nauman is the coach. You remember his son wrestled out at Pitt, right? Maybe you would
Who is
know him.
it? Nauman?
Tyler Nauman.
It's Nauman.
Nauman.
Nauman, like now, man.
You know him?
I know Tyler.
So his dad is the coach of McDevitt.
Okay.
Um, and no doubt Tyler helps out a lot of those guys and all that good stuff. And yeah,
Tyler
man.
Nauman, two-time All-American.
Yeah.
H2P, baby.
Yeah.
Hey,
So
hey, I got new shirts. You're gonna get one. Just gotta show you, right?
uh,
Will you
I,
XL? XL?
I always go 2XL.
You?
I 2XL. I'm a tall guy and I don't like when stuff starts like shrinking and getting
Yeah, it
short.
runs up your back.
Yeah, no good. Let
Let me
me
see
let me
what's
wear
on
the
yours. Let's
baggy.
see what's on your chest. See you. Come on. Let me see it. Oh, bro.
What do you think
Oh,
about that?
bro. Come
And
on. I got
I
you.
I said put it in the Cleveland Indian colors for my guys at M.
That's Phillies, though, right? That's like
That's
Philly.
Philly, baby. That's Philly.
Love it. Dude, that's awesome. I'll bring you okay. We're on yellow right now with the NCAs. If I get
Okay.
green again, I'll bring you a double X.
What do you want?
Double.
Double.
Fat man. I'm not long. I'm not long. I'm just fat.
You got a double coming your way.
Okay. Who were your third placers? Who were your fifth placers? You had four placers. Who were your four not finalists?
Jay Singer took fifth. He's a stud. He's going to Lehigh. I thought he was um just left a little bit out there. You know what I mean? And he was at a tough side of the bracket. He hit Johnson from Muncie in the semifinal. Wrestled him tough, but he's just a little outgunned. But in his quarterfinal match, and in his Conci semi match, he just lacked a little bit of that mean. But he's an amazing kid, works his tail off, took fifth. And then we had three all take third. And it's really important to me. We had a tournament 2 years ago that we had 9 guys place. Um, all 9 finished odd. All 9 of them won their last match.
Really?
Uh, and I like that like just speaks volume to me. Like we always try to just finish strong, whether it's at the end of a practice, end of a tournament, and obviously for the end of the year, like we want that to be part of our makeup and DNA. Like we don't get tired, we don't get worn out, we don't turn the page. Like we're present where our feet are and we finish strong. And so all three third place guys took third: Max Stein, Mason Wagner, Chase Hans. Jay Singer took fifth. Mason Wagner Jr. going to Little Rock. Max Stein Sr. going to Penn. Chase Hans Sr. going to Hofstra University. So those were the other 4 guys that didn't make the finals, and
Okay.
all of them won their last match.
So you went out with a win for the four consolation guys, three
Yep.
thirds and a fifth,
Yep.
6 finalists, four champs. Walk me through your 6 finalists. First off, what were the crazy semifinals that you had?
What were the crazy semifinals that we had? I feel like I'd be better to walk you through the finalists first, and then see if I jog my mind at all.
Okay, go ahead with your finals.
Finalists, Freddie Bachman, repeat of the regional finals where he beat a kid in overtime. Northern Lebanon, Walford, really talented kid. Wrestled his brother Joe the year before, real tough. Um, but Freddie like got out the gate. He did not get a takedown on him in the regional final. In the state final, got out early with a takedown. And there's just not anybody better at crafting a match with a lead than the Bachman brothers.
That's correct. That's correct.
And it'll wind people up. And even for me as a coach, like man, you guys are so talented. You're so tough. Your conditioning is amazing. Sometimes I get a little bothered by their tendency to go, "Hey, this is a really good wrestler. I'm going to get out early, and then I'm going to nurse the match away." Like, you know what I mean? And but it it has burned Joe a couple times this year. It will burn them, and that's where they have to keep learning a lesson. But you know what? It's still a gift of how they're able to hand fight and maintain position and do their job. And so that's what Freddie did, man. He took him down early, um, escaped, hand fought in the center, won a 4-3 match. It was awesome.
It's
And
almost
Freddie,
like this with those guys, with the Bachmans.
yeah,
It's almost like get a takedown, shut it down, shut it down. It's like they shut it down, but they're masterful at shutting it down.
yeah,
What I don't like about that, right? They were both battling, at the battling the weight, battling some at Ironman, right?
yes,
I don't like how the guys just start calling them for stalling. When
yeah.
they're in the
That
center,
that
they engage, they'll get in on a shot. I'm like, come on, guys.
that happened out at Iron Man, like crazy, like
Right? I know, like both of them. Remember, I kept being like, why are they?
dude. And Mark in his, I think it was his semifinal, something like that. Yeah, a couple questionable calls going on out there, but that's part of it. And so yeah, but they're masterful at it, and they especially Freddie, like talking about Joe's final, like Joe won 7-0, and he did a good job of keeping his foot on the gas pedal like the whole tournament. And I think without him cutting as much weight because he went up to 129, um, it allowed him a little bit more to just be offensive minded during the week. He's thinking a little bit more through his setups and about his match, and instead of just weight cutting the whole time. And so um, yeah, he had 2 takedowns and escape and dominant hand fighting, more attacks. Like he really opened up and looked great in his finals. Freddie um, maybe doesn't cut as much weight next year and gets to enjoy a little bit more of that fruit of his labor. But that is definitely a guy who's like, as soon as the tournament's done, get me to the gym. I got to sweat. Up late, up early in the morning. He spent most of his extra hours this season cutting weights. So big kudos to him, man.
Could we see a jump out of both of them?
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. I think both of them still have a little growing yet to do. What is always difficult is, they get sort of boxed into, their weight classes for the world championships and stuff like that. They compete for Team Puerto Rico. And so that's what like they and their dad have to sort of figure out is what weights are best for them. Do they have wiggle room to sort of jockey some of those weights? Can you go up a weight class, at a world level like that and really compete, 3-4 months from now? Is that the best thing for them? And so I'm kind of curious to see how they play that, because there is a possibility that they just go, not for me this year. Really sorry. Or one of them does that, and that way they can just focus on letting their body grow naturally and be, you know, 38 and 45 next year, or 33 and 38. That's where I foresee
I
them.
think they're that good.
They're definitely that good.
Okay, I know they're
They're
that
elite.
good in the United States. They're
Yeah,
that good at the international level, in my opinion.
I think so too. But
I,
yeah, yeah. Guys cut a lot of weight, man. I've seen them wrestle guys. They cut a lot of weight, and I see them go toe to toe with some guys where it's like, you can't tell me this guy isn't 20 pounds more than him. Like, it's freaking huge. Freddie wrestled this kid from, I think, Ecuador last year, and it was like 150 pounds up. Like, is just a massive human being. So, whatever. I know they're that good. You know they're that good. But at the end of the day, they still have to think about what's best for them, and um, we'll see how it plays out over the next month or two.
Yeah, I mean they've got that. They got that, man. You know, they've got that in them. They can do that.
100%.
So both Bachman state champs for you. Who are
Yes.
your other two champs?
Uh, Adam Waters and
Go Bucks. Go Bucks.
Scobucks.
Go.
And Nick Singer. Nick Singer and Adam Waters. Adam beat his kid 11 to nothing, 11 to 1. Um, and controlled the whole match, but I think it was a little bit weird to not see Adam finish a match at the Giant Center. He's got a habit of pinning and teching his way through that, and the kid Caleb Close from Bald Eagle that he had is huge 89-pounder Jack, good hand fighter, and you could just see Adam sort of like get to a point in the match, kind of the same thing. Where like, man, I got this thing under control. This guy's holding good position. I don't need him catching an underhook or something like that. And so he just uh, kind of kept things clamped up and did kept things clamped up. He won 11-1 in the finals. But he was very much in control of that whole match and did a phenomenal job. Undefeated year for him. Him and Freddie both finished undefeated. Um, their exact records, I'm not sure. Maybe like 46 and 43-0. But Adam dominant third third state title for him. So he's got a shot next year um, to be a four-timer. And somebody gave a stat, Zeb, that there's never been somebody to win four team titles and four individual titles, which makes sense. But he's kind of has an opportunity next year to be an eight-time champ, if you will. And so that's a neat thing that Adams going through. And then Nick Singer, 172 was a state champ. Um, if you get a chance, you got to watch his match back. Nick is like salt of the earth, great kid. If he was here in this interview with us, like he'd share Jesus with you and tell you all about him. He's just great kid, loves the Lord. And then when he wrestles and when he competes, he gets in a killer mentality mode. You with me?
Yeah.
This
Oh
guy,
yeah.
I'm like, hey Nick, I'm pretty loose in the corner, like you good to go, and he's pacing back and forth and glaring and everything. He gets himself a little riled up. Sophomore, he's still got a little maturing left to do. But you gotta love his gunslinger mentality. So he's wrestling Wenzel from Montoursville. Great kid, really good wrestler. And Nikki's got like two takedowns on him, finishes a third takedown off a great scramble, shucks the kid by. The kid does a little bit of a sit out, head spin, cartwheel. Nick follows over the top, captures his hips, and then the kid comes up to his feet right on the out of bounds line. And Nikki like comes up almost like a full Nelson, but like maybe he's got a little bit more of like the arms trap than he does the head, and fives this kid. Illegal slam, like straight back arch, heads trapped.
Kid's okay.
The kid is okay, but like just dumb. Like, Nick, what are you doing? Um, because it just seemed, yeah, whatever. But he gets himself into those modes and he's just out there to sling it. And so the kid's down, he's okay, but doctors are looking at him and we're not really sure if the kid's gonna continue or not. And big credit to Gage Wenzel for continuing the match at that point. I think there was just like a minute left in the third, and grateful he's healthy. But that had a chance to go from a 10-1 match, minute left to not being a state champ. Not that that would have defined Nick at the end of the day, but it was good for him to get that one. So yeah, those were our four champs: Freddie, Joe, Nick, and Adam. All four return next year. Um, and yeah, and then Gage and Mark were the two. I kind of already walked through those two matches.
Wait,
Gage will
wait,
be head
are Gage and Mark both back too?
not Gage. Mark is. Um, Gage will be freshman out of Michigan next year.
What are all the schools you're putting guys to? Where's everybody going? I know you. I heard Little Rock. I heard Michigan. I've heard Lehigh. I've heard Princeton. What is there anybody committed to not a D1? And what are all the schools they're committed to?
Nobody at this point committed to D2 or D3. There's still some kids that have decisions to make who could be in that wheelhouse. But I'm going through the lineup here with you. We got Michigan.
Who's that?
Gage is going.
Patero.
Yep, Gage Botero. Um, and then you got Mason Wagner and Shane Wagner. Shane wasn't at the state tournament because he wasn't a starter for us. This is Mason's twin brother, Shane. Um, but he won ETR or won Pole Cracker and beat what's the kid's name? McSpace, who I think was like AAA third. Kid from Midwest that Mason beat for third and fourth. He was a state finalist the year before. Shane beat him.
This is your
Whatever. Shane's
backup.
a backup. He beat Melvin Miller. I was talking about he beat Melvin I don't know, a year and a half ago, something like that at a preseason tournament. He's a stud. He
Yeah.
and Mason are
Yeah.
both going to Little Rock, where their older brother Cody is a freshman, finishing up his freshman year this year. He placed seventh or eighth for us last year, Cody Wagner. Um, and then Max Stein going to Penn, UPenn. Grateful he's going to be in the backyard, man. Max is he could be the next president of the United States. Maybe not the next one.
He's a tall drink of water, right?
Tall drink of water. Yep. Um, and he's another one that cut a bunch of weight, and we were just talking about what weight he plans to go to in college. He said, I don't know for sure, but I don't want to cut weight anymore, so I
You know
can't wait.
what? I'm going to tell you who he's going to be like. You ready?
James Hale,
Lorenzo Thomas.
Lorenzo, is that a Blair kid?
Lorenzo Thomas was a Pittsburgh Central Catholic guy. Let me make
I'm
sure I got this right. Dude, Lorenzo Thomas was like my nephew Ian's weight. I think
okay.
Ian wrestled him one year. And then he was an All-American at 84. I think that's
Woo.
what's going to happen with Stein.
I think so too.
Hold on. Loren Thomas, you Penn wrestling. Here we go. Ready? Lorenzo Thomas, big lanky dude that wrestled like 45.
Yep.
Yep, he was fourth in the country. In no, he was sixth. 2013, 2014, sixth place, but a gigantic dude. And he was so he was like a 45, 52, just like Stein, right? What's Stein? What did he wrestle? What's your weight?
52.
52. So he's 52.
Yep.
Lorenzo Thomas was a 52. And then, yeah, he's Pittsburgh Central Catholic. I want to make sure. Yeah, Pittsburgh Central Catholic. And then he went to UPenn and was an All American at 84.
Nice.
So
Nice.
there you
That
go.
could be a fun story, man. I'm telling you, and he'll fill out what happens with a lot of guys. I'm not saying this is totally the case, but like you talk about Max Stein, Chase Hans, Mason Wagner, Shane Wagner, like a lot of those guys could be 60, 70, even 89 pounders, but like the upper part of our lineup, when you talk about Nick Singer, who is just a state champ, Kale Widemore is somebody who we didn't even talk about because he had ACL injury. He was the starter at 160. He was a state finalist last year, lost to Connor Herrera 4-3 in the state finals. No one's talking about that kid because he had ACL surgery at the beginning of January this year. But like, and then Adam Waters, like all of that talent up top keeps a lot of those middleweights like keeps them there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But Max Stein absolutely could be 180 pounds.
He's gonna
He
be a
may
180. He's gonna be a 74, 84. Watch.
100%. If
I've
he's
seen
forced
him.
into a starting role, maybe he's 74 to start, but
Yeah,
by the time he finishes up, he's going to be 184, and
yeah.
I won't want to wrestle him anymore.
Don't do that.
No,
Don't do
no.
that. You need to like walk upright. So we've got multiple Lehigh guys, right?
Yeah, sorry, I cut it off. Penn, Chase Hans, Hofstra University, the alma mater. Love that he's
Flying
going there.
Dutchman. Go
Flying
Flying
Dutchman,
Dutchman.
baby. They're the pride now. The pride now,
I
but
know. I know that. I know
lots
that.
of Flying Dutchman. I love Chase, love his dad. His dad's on the coaching staff. Got the assistant coach of the year this year. Only person in PA history to be a head coach of the year and an assistant coach of the year, Tom Hans.
I'm
Uh,
impressed.
Pretty cool. So Chase will be up at Hofstra. And then Kale Weidemoyer and Jay Singer, both committed to Lehigh. Love that they'll be in the backyard. Lehigh got a bunch of good recruits from the area, man. Dean Bechtold is a stud heavyweight, AAA. Kiana Dillard, um, Brady Collins just committed there. I gotta stop listing names because I'm gonna forget somebody. But yeah, we got two of our own going to
Waters.
Lehigh.
Go Bucks. Go Bucks.
Just committed. Um, yeah, just committed to Ohio State and really pumped for that. Big Tom Ryan fan myself.
Oh,
Uh,
that's right.
not gonna be not gonna
Astra.
be not gonna be rooting for Ohio State versus Penn State and on the football field, but come wrestling season, I'll put my red gear on.
I like that. I like that you have an open mind.
Oh yeah, and for my kid,
And you're a filthy, stinking, rotten Philly fan too.
no, you love that. You love that, Zeb.
I
It's
do
gonna
love
be a
it.
good year for the
I
Bulls.
like it. You guys are you're a little gritty, you're a little grimy. I like that. You know I like that.
Bryce Harper helps that mentality, man. Dude loves the ball. Um, yeah, when it comes to our guys, man, I don't care where they go, whether I like the school or not. I'm a fan. So yeah, I love it. Love that he's going there and glad we get him for one more year. We'll see. I say all this stuff, Zeb, like this guy returns, but like the reality is, um, we got a couple more weeks for our banquet, and so I'll just kind of stay locked in on that, like I said. But like every single year, we see guys leave for one reason or another. Like it costs money to go to school. Um, you know, guys are getting offers from prep schools year in and year out saying, "Yeah,
People
we'll pay."
have crazy parents.
What's that?
People have crazy parents.
Yeah, there's a
You
lot.
didn't say it, I did.
And somebody like Adam even like what if Tom Ryan says, "Hey, we're paying you this money and you got this NIL deal and you know what? We want to see you out here, you finish your high school online out here, but we want you training and stuff like that." Like I'm not saying those conversations are happening, but
I just don't feel like that's a thing he would do, but I can't speak for him. You know what I mean?
right. And that's why I said like everything is just sprinkled with these guys all return allegedly. We'll sift through where everybody's at after the banquet.
Did you wait for Josh Lowe to give you the call to have those shirts printed up?
No, no, these were printed after the dual state championships by our school. This is not something that I like green lighted and told people, "Hey, we're the official national champions," whatever. But they and other people, even you and Josh Lowe said you got to take two out of the three. You got Ironman, you got state
Duels.
duels, individual duels. So yeah, so we won Ironman, we won the state duels, and at that point, Zeb, a lot of people were drumming it up like, hey, this is we had the Iron Man, we lost to Sam, McCourt beat Sam, like here's the tell all. This is a head to head. It's not tournament format. Like this is the decider. This is for the national championship. Like that's what everybody was saying. And then it happened and all of a sudden the individual tournament was being sauced up as like, hey, that was the state, championship. This is the national championship, though. This is what it's all about. So it's the shirts were already printed. We were going to be national champs in our own minds anyway. But I guess good reason to you know, not put too much stake into what everybody says. Keep enjoying one thing at a time, and you know, there's going to be world qualifiers a few weeks from now that more is going to be expected of the kids and more is going to be talked about. So just one competition at a time. Be grateful for it. And yeah, man.
I think you've outlined obviously how you repeat, right? I think that you're pretty upfront about it. Guys got to come back, right? Guys got to come back. Guys got to be healthy. You got to get people into the lineup. Obviously, you got some log jams going on wherever there's Bachmans. There's guys migrating with other people. Wherever there's guys who can't go up and beat Mark, can't beat Waters, you have to fit puzzle pieces around your big stars, I think.
Yeah, yeah, and a lot of it like it's not to be decided right now. Like it's sort of fun to think about what could be and on paper and everything else, but like it really is a good time. Like even like you're talking about, you come back from the Ohio tournament, you're sick and life still like demands you and your kids are expecting you to put them to bed. Like, man, now is a time to make sure your daily disciplines are intact. So you just went through this gauntlet of a year. We're traveling, you're behind on schoolwork, you're cutting weight, you're doing all these different things. Like if you don't take a couple weeks, no one's telling you to like sit on a couch and relax. Like you should be working out and continuing to live that lifestyle. But like now is a time where you pause and you just make sure your daily habits of what time you're waking up and your devotional life and your workout life, your time with your family, like good nourishing things are intact. And then as a couple weeks go by and guys start to line themselves up for world team qualifiers and Fargo weights and everything else, that starts to tell us a little bit of like, okay, this guy's sick and tired of cutting weight, no matter what I say or you say, he's going up. He's letting his body grow. And this guy's starting to you know what? He's gonna keep himself a little bit light. He's not gonna be hitting the weights like crazy. He's gonna stay a little bit more lean and as those things hash themselves out, that's when I can kind of go, hey, I see you're hanging around 45. Is that kind of what you're thinking next year? I want to start having conversations with people. It looks like that guy's going up to 180, so he'll be in that mix. And um, yeah, but definitely like late spring, early summer, try to have a little bit of a snapshot. That could change, but at least you're kind of helping guys see their chance at being a starter and look at what the optimal lineup could be. So we'll see,
Same
man.
same meat grinder schedule. Start out Ironman. Um, Beast, ETR, Skate the Rock, Cold Cracker. Is anything
There's
else get added in there?
there's talk just for the sake of like switching it up. Because I think like last year, and this is totally spitball and Zeb, because we did have a coaches meeting. Usually at the end of January or February, we'll have a coaches meeting, just to where we go like, okay, regular season's done. How was that? Did we have a slew of injuries? Did you know what I mean? Did we stockpile too many tournaments or too much weight cutting? Um, and maybe that's why guys were getting injured. Just how did it feel? Let's make some notes now while it's fresh. But now's about the time of year where we'll again start seeing where guys are at and what moves are being made and but one of the conversations was like, dude, we wrestled Becca, Sim, Lake Highland Prep, like this Malvern, the same three or four schools, five schools, six schools, like at every single tournament. You know what I mean? So it's like they're big tournaments, they're awesome tournaments. We should be at them. But man, it'd be nice to do something different. And so I think it's Doc Buchanan out in Cali does a
Do
tournament.
it.
Well, we probably would have to give something up to do that. But I'm trying to think of when it is too. It might be the first weekend in January.
Yeah,
Uh,
it's January. Do you realize that the Doc Buchanan's actually at Clovis High School?
is
It's
that
not
right?
at Buchanan High School.
I did not know that. I
Yeah,
don't know anything about it other than like it was a viable option. So people reached out. Some of our parents even said it. So like it goes into like we're a small school, Zeb. We have a booster club that was sort of um put together this year because it had just faltered a little bit in years past, and some people that were a part of the booster club left the school, and so it's just like, once upon a time, my wife and I were kind of hustling to make it all work, and then as the program grew, it was like, yo, we need help. And I feel like every single year, there's always been a little reshuffling to the booster club. So for us to say, yo, we're going to do a gauntlet schedule is not just that simple. Like, it's a little bit of a difficult effort to raise all the funds necessary, and so this year our booster club did an amazing job, and something like Doc Buchanan sounds like it'd be an awesome thing for next year, but how exactly does that get budgeted and fundraised for, and does something else have to get cut in order for us to do that, and then how does that make people feel, and so a lot of
it's
little
about how they
conversations
wrestle. They wrestle from space. A lot of like wrestle from space, slick.
at West there.
Yeah, it's different. It's different. It's not like the Bachman brothers are going to be aliens out there. They're going to be like, well, who are the guys? It's like,
Where you going? Let me get my hands on you.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, oh, you want to choose down? Ooh, I wouldn't do that. Like you're going to get a lot of this, because they're just not equipped for the mat wrestling like you guys are, like Midwesterners are towards you
Yeah.
guys. Like the Illinois guys do a pretty good job against you. Ohio,
Yeah.
Indiana guys do a pretty good job against the they don't, but the California, Oregon, Washington guys might struggle with that, I think.
Zone a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah, because you guys are just such hammers on the mat, dude.
Yeah. But
So
it'd be fun. Like that's the one
yeah,
thing this year that would kind of be cool to switch it up, do a little something different. Just for the sake of the guys too. Like um it's not all about switching it up and keeping things fun and interesting and everything else, but like at some point that does start to become a little bit of my job, right? Like, okay, if we got the same cast of characters, they just won everything the year before, maybe you don't see people stay on top that much because, all of a sudden they just kind of can't wait to get to college. Like they've sort of felt all that high school has to offer them. You know what I mean? If they've already won everything, yeah, the push from the McDevitt's and the McCourts and the Malverns of the world are still going to keep them on their toes. But I think sometimes just the simplicity of like, hey, we're going to go to this tournament this year, and we're going to have this match at the Snake Pit this year. Like, all of a sudden that adds some of that flair that keeps it fun and interesting for them.
did
So
McCord
we'll
have
see.
four champs as well?
McCourt did, and they had four finalists, and all four of them won. Um,
And then Jack's
Jax,
Jack's upended some history, right?
uh, yeah. Up in his submission, I was trying to think of what history he made, but no, Seidel was going for his fourth. Dude, that guy Seidel is a stud.
Yeah.
There was him coming down, and and there was talks even the year before he wrestled Gage Matero, and there was talks of like, he's going to go 13. He doesn't want to wrestle Gage. And when I talked to his coach early in the year, his coach is a great guy, best dressed at any tournament. Um, he was like, no, like Aaron ticks in a way that like he wants the better guy. So if like he's an underdog against Gage, like that's probably where he's going to go. Like that's what he's looking for. He's not looking for this Cinderella story of being a three-timer, a four-timer, or whatever else. Like the dude just wants to compete, and he's not real emotional to whatever happens. Like he just sort of has a dog in him that way, and that's what he did versus Jax. Like he's just like, I'm not running. I'm just wrestling, man. This is what I want. The four timer doesn't mean near as much to me as competing against a guy of this caliber. So yeah, kudos to him and obviously Jax too. Jax is freaking good, man.
And then Bassett, who'd Bassett have?
I don't know. He wrestled Mason Wagner in the semifinals. I told the Bassett's afterwards, you go and alert the table if you have like a milestone or something like that. And Mason's semifinal against Bassett was going to be his 100th win. And so I went up to the head table guys and I said, "Hey, potential 100 win coming up in the semifinals at 145." And they were like, "Who's your guy?" I was like, "Mason." And they were like, "He's going against Bassett." I was like, "Yeah, lefty headlock. It could happen. Just keep your eyes clear, all right?" And it didn't go our way. And so I walked back to the table and said, "Hey, same time tomorrow, guys. Stay on your toes." They were laughing. So I don't even know who Bassett had in the finals, but he definitely
Rick in the
he
dryer.
definitely
Dun, da, dun, da, dun, da, dun.
yeah,
Yeah.
he's really really good.
Hey,
Stumped everybody up.
shout out to Iowa and the Iowa Hawkeyes.
Look at that. Cooper DeJean. Come on, that's a keeper.
Yeah, buddy. Yeah.
Everybody keeps talking about the. I haven't even been caught up on what the Eagles are doing, but maybe they just got rid of Gardner Johnson, one of the cornerbacks. They got rid of Darius Slay, and I said, "Dude, just as long as those Iowa boys are back there, like we're
Blankenship and
fine."
DeJean, right?
Reed Blankenship, Cooper DeJean. We brought Baum back.
They had a great, you guys had the best defensive line, the best offensive line.
That's where it's at.
Spend money.
That's where it's at. And I
Yeah.
think we gave up one of them to get a right guard from somebody. I don't know.
But, just like the Faith Christian Lions, you got to rebuild a little bit sometimes.
Yeah, we got a couple studs coming up through the middle school who will compete for us right away next year, and then the depth is not great, but our youth is booming. One of our coaches, RP Norley, big bald guy, you definitely recognize him if you see him. He's out of Iron Man. His kids are coming up through the youth, and there's just a great contingent of dads and coaches who are pushing that program along. So, um, yeah, man, we'll keep reloading for sure.
How many
But
kids go to Faith Christian?
it's been 4 years since I taught there and was the AD there. So I'm probably maybe there's 1,200 kids, K to 12.
100 kids a grade.
About I would I
90
would
kids a grade.
yeah, I would say in the junior high and high school, there's probably more towards the 120 a class, and then the elementaries, it's a little bit lighter. That's just my guess, though.
Gotcha. I like it.
Yeah.
I like it. I'll allow it. Hey, we've been talking at this a while. You got anything else for me?
My guy Owen Bruner. We were talking about prayer requests last
Yes.
time we
Yes.
Owen Bruner,
Sandy
cancer
Miller.
free. Sandy Miller. She's still rocking and rolling.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Nice.
Tough.
She's on our prayer request. But our guy Owen Bruner, cancer free, and he got to make the trek out to states with us and enjoy just the whole scene, going out to eat and watching the guys, coaching the guys, playing cards at night. So that was a really neat thing. But other than that, man, no, I yeah, I got this picture in the background here. Is that you see it?
Yeah, yeah. I want the story on that.
So it became a little bit of our not our rallying cry, just something that would give us a little smirk relative to the national championships and everything else. One of our coaches shared like this slew of different, quotes from forums or video coverage or whatever else of basically the state dual tournament being null and void because it really was decided by a coin flip. It wasn't decided on the mat. It was decided by a coin flip. You with me? And so, like a lot of just like our bulletin board material as we return to practice and everything else and build up for the state tournament, um, it became a little bit of our rallying cry. Like these guys think a coin flip decided the state dual tournament. There was no coin flip at Ironman, and there sure as heck isn't going to be a coin flip at the state, individual tournament. And so we that's been a circulating picture in our group throughout the tournament, and then obviously at the end of the tournament, state champs not decided by a coin flip, natty champs not decided by a coin flip on the map, baby.
This isn't by chance. This is because you guys worked for it.
That's right. That's right.
I love it. I love it. Is it an emoji or did someone draw it?
Uh Printed out. There's a better rendition. Probably something we'll get tattoos. I think we're gonna get team tattoos for next year. We'll see how it comes to life. But this was just something printed out, pretty generic.
I like
Better
it.
rendition coming.
It's the meaning. I think it's the meaning and what it
Oh
means.
man, it's awesome.
I like it. You know, like I got things in my office that mean stuff to me like that. And there's a lot of stuff in my office, dude. This thing's like it's crazy, right? It's like a
It's
recording
awesome.
studio office, and I always got stuff in here that like means something to me. Over the weekend, I got to interview Mark Coleman, and
Woo.
Mark Coleman's understudy was Kevin the Monster Randleman. We did the interview in front of the Kevin the Monster Randleman sign because he was a
Nice.
state champion in Ohio. Coleman, the godfather of ground and pound, was a two-time state champion in Ohio and NCAA champion for the Buckeyes. So um, this is one of my favorites too. Kevin Randleman in the NCAA semifinals signed versus Bart Chelsevic of Iowa.
You
There's
think
your
he wears a 2XL like you and me?
what's that?
I said he probably wears a 2XL like you and me.
Kevin Randleman's gone.
What's that?
Kevin's gone.
Oh no, I didn't know that.
Kevin's gone.
Oh,
Kevin,
no.
um, and my son passed in the night. My son was born. Kevin died on February 11th, 2016. My son was born early, early in the morning on February 12th, 2016.
Man,
That's crazy, right? Like one of
man.
the dudes, like the biggest freaks of all time, right?
I don't think I ever knew that.
Not with it. No, yeah, that's wild, right? Dude, I have so much stuff. It's just like crazy. This is one of my nephew. He's a D2 All American. This is my brother winning a state title
Look at that.
back in '89. This is my nephew
I was
winning
born.
a state title in 2021 in the high school gym when they had COVID stuff. And then this is my nephew Bodie. This is his son. And then
Nice.
his dad was a state champ too. So I got a lot of cool stuff like that in here, man.
Dude,
A
the
lot of
Miller
cool stuff.
family runs deep.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And then yeah, there's just a lot of cool stuff. Here's my nephew Ian. Him and Richie Lewis wrestled at one of those street leagues.
Yeah.
He beat Richie Lewis. I coached him.
Nice.
It was cool. It was a good.
Richie boys with Jordan Oliver. That's how I know him. I got to meet
Yeah, yeah,
him.
yeah, yeah. But dude, hey, thanks for coming on tonight. I know you're running on fumes. Are we
Yeah,
good?
dude, we're good. Zeb, I sincerely appreciate all you're doing, man. I know you're running on fumes too and covering Ohio and still taking the time to cover Faith's finish to the year. And
National championship finish to the year.
come on, baby.
State title, tournament individual title, dual champions, Ironman champions, Beast of the East champions, Coal Cracker champions, Escape the Rock champions, the wire to wire national champions, the Faith Christian Lions,
Pretty awesome.
Eagles, whatever you want.
At the end of
Oh,
the day, we are trying to point people to Christ more than anything else, and I know that we got to do that, and I seen people's lives change because of Christ's impact on them, and that's still what we want to do. We know that the coin flips and the national championships and everything else will come and go, but definitely was a fulfilling year to see it come to fruition for the guys and their parents and all the hard work. So I'm gonna make sure you have your 2XL in
you'll have a
Philly.
2X. You'll have a 2X.
I'll have a 2X too. You'll have a
Yep.
2X. You just got to get that yellow light to a green light for next weekend.
Yeah.
And then I'll once the dust settles and we start to finalize our schedule a little bit next year, I'll let you know.
Awesome. Coach Clymer, congratulations on the state and national title. Stick around.
Sounds good. You're the man, Zeb.